Dear compatriots and fellow activists, we in the International League of People's Struggle express our warmest greetings of solidarity to the organizers and delegates of the Sulong Kabataan Youth Conference 2016. We are deeply pleased that this conference will culminate in the founding of Anakbayan Canada. We deem it necessary and appropriate that on this occasion we consider the role of the youth in the ever-worsening crisis of the world capitalist system. Since the financial meltdown of 2008, there has been a general condition of economic stagnation and deepening recession, or in fact, depression, while indebtedness at the levels of the state, corporations, and household is rising rapidly, and US-instigated imperialist wars of aggression continue to flare up. The youth are put in a dire situation by the crisis. They are victimized by the lessening opportunities for employment, the absence of job security, and worsening of wage and living conditions. The deterioration of economic and social conditions is accompanied and abetted by the suppression of democratic rights. The current and succeeding generations of youth will carry the burden of high debts. When a country is drawn to war as a consequence of the crisis, it is the youth who are called upon by states to die and fight for oppressive and exploitative policies that the monopoly bourgeoisie impose on the people. The crisis in Canada and the world will continue to become worse because the political leaders and moguls of monopoly capitalism continue to impose the neoliberal economic policy on the people for the purpose of extracting super profits, and are using state terrorism and aggressive wars to maintain the system of greed and gross inequality. Before the crisis in Canada worsens, the Filipino youth of Canada must rouse themselves, organize, and stand up to fight the crisis of capitalism and expose and oppose the imperialist policies being imposed on them. It is not enough to react to and resist the monstrosities of the monopoly capitalist system. It is imperative to aim for socialism as the best possible system for the working people of Canada and for all of mankind. It is also necessary to act in concert with all peoples fighting for national and social liberation against imperialism and all reaction. Matter of course, the Filipino youth in Canada must arouse, organize, and mobilize themselves as a distinct force and be ever ready to initiate or join the broadest possible progressive alliances with other forces of various nationalities as the concrete circumstances of Canada and the struggle require. But you must also be ever concerned with the struggle of the Filipino youth and people in the Philippines, and extend to them the support and assistance that they need and that you are capable of providing. After the founding of Anakbayan, I'm sure that more than ever before, you will have an effective instrument for sending delegations and missions of Filipino-Canadian youth to the Philippines, so as to establish the strongest possible working relations with the Filipino youth in the Philippines. The continuing dire social conditions in the Philippines and the continuing struggle of the Filipino people against U.S. imperialism and the local oligarchy of big compradors and landlords explain why you and your families have come to work in Canada and to stay away from the far worse conditions of oppression and exploitation in a homeland that is an underdeveloped and impoverished new colony. Whatever leeway that you might have gained, you are in a position to help the revolutionary struggle of the Filipino youth and people. Mabuhay ang Kabataang Pilipino! Isulong ang revolusyon sa Canada at Pilipinas! Mabuhay ang sambayanang Pilipino!